I believe everyone has a story to tell. And I believe everyone deserves a little pampering. Welcome to Mannies with Grannies. I'm your host, Tiffany Marino. Join me while I sit down with a woman over 70 and get to know her while giving her a manicure. Welcome to this episode of Mannies with Grannies. I'm back at Tanglewood Manor, and today I have the pleasure of talking with Bev. Bev, thanks for being here with me today.
You're welcome.
You can take your hands out of here. Where did you grow up?
Fredonia.
I think I've been to Fredonia. It's a pretty area.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like growing up there?
Pretty good. I lived up on top of the hill on Hillcrest Drive, and I'd walk down the hill every day and take the bus to Dunkirk to go to school.
Were there many kids in your school?
I went to 7th and 8th grade at Fredonia Central, but I went to Cardinal Manzanian my freshman year.
And how many kids do you think were in your graduating class?
Well, I didn't graduate with them, so I don't really know, but probably about 40. But that feels good.
Oh, good. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
Do you remember what that felt like?
We had moved to Forestville. That's about 6 miles from Fredonia. It was good graduating.
How were you feeling at that point in your life?
I think I was going with my husband then. And then we were married for 60 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your husband's name?
Robert.
And you met him in school?
No, I didn't meet him in school. I met him at the bowling alley. He was 5 years older than I.
Do you remember your first date?
Oh, yes. He had a Chevy Impala, all paid for, paid cash for it, because, see, he was 5 years older than I, and he put his money on his car. I put a pencil or a pen or something up on the ledge there, and it went down, and I don't know if it was still there when we traded it in long after or not.
That's fun to think about, though.
Yes, uh-huh.
So were you impressed by the Chevy Impala?
Yes. Oh, power steering, power brakes. Now remember, this was back in the dark ages, I guess. I don't know exactly. When would that have been?
Do you remember what year you were born?
Yes, 1942.
How old were you when you met him? Probably like 16, around that age?
I think I was 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
So 42, 17, so 59, the end of the 50s, early 60s.
We got married in 60.
What did your parents think of you dating an older guy?
They didn't much care.
What about your friends?
Well, I don't know. He was kind of new in the area. He lived in South Dayton, and that was 5 or 6 miles away. Lived with his parents right next door to the Methodist church.
What was it like planning a wedding then?
It was really different. We didn't want a big wedding. We were married in the Methodist church right next door to his parents.
So when you got married, did the two of you move into your own home together?
Bob had purchased this small house in Van Buren that's right outside of Fredonia. It was a small winterized home, but there weren't too many other winterized houses around there.
What do you mean by winterized home?
Most of the places were cottages.
Maybe they didn't have running water?
Well, they might have had it shut off.
In the wintertime?
Yes, in the wintertime.
Okay. There maybe wasn't enough insulation in the wintertime to keep the water running.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So you moved into this smaller home.
Yes, it was a 2-bedroom home. We had a pink bathroom with a wine-colored tub. It was beautiful. It was very modern. The kitchen was small.
Did you get a job right out of high school?
I worked as an aide for the food service at the hospital.
Do you have a favorite job that you had throughout your life?
I worked at the college for 25 years later in my life. I also was a counselor for Diet Workshop. That was many pounds ago. Different time in my life.
What did you do at the college?
I was the first person when you came into the office. I was in Gregory Hall, and I put students on meal plans, took their picture, and made new ID cards. It was a good job. I liked it a lot.
I remember being in college and that person that was there smiling and helpful really made all the difference.
Where did you go?
I went to Temple in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not around here, on the other side of the state.
Uh-huh.
And what college were you working at?
It was a state college.
Did you have kids?
Yes, 3. The first one was 13 months after we were married. He was born, and it was a boy, and I wanted the boy to be the oldest. I only gained 15 pounds with him, and he was born on the day that they said he was going to be born.
And what's his name?
Jeff.
And then you had 2 more kids after that?
Yes.
What was it like growing up with the 3 kids at home?
I wish I could remember better. I've thought about that. I can't remember, like sitting down at a meal. I can't remember that. I've had a stroke, and some of the things I just can't remember.
That must be hard.
It is. It's a little blank spot. I go along, and then there's a blank spot, and then I remember.
How long ago did you have a stroke?
Maybe 8 years ago. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I went in to have my knee operated on. I don't know if they gave me too much anesthetic. I don't imagine they did. It was probably just my body reacting to it. I don't have anything left of it. I don't have a little limp or anything like that.
After having the stroke, did it change your outlook on life at all?
I don't think so.
Let's go back to talking about your younger years. What were you like as a teenager?
Well, I smoked. I was pretty rowdy. I'm not like that now, but I was rowdy.
What kind of trouble did you get into?
I'll tell you a story, and you'll really like it. Your eyes will open up wide. In my freshman year, I went to Cardinal and Senni in Dunkirk, and I skipped school for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We lived in Fredonia up the hill, so I'd walk down the hill, and we'd have coffee or breakfast, whatever, at Rush's restaurant. And my friend would go to school, and I would go to her house and stay in her bedroom all day long. Her mother went to church all 3 or 4 services, so I was upstairs there and just hung out there, and then I came down and went home. I can't remember how my mother found out about it, but she did. But I think it was time. To a Catholic school. When all the kids had come up, they all went to Catholic school all the time. I mean, right from kindergarten up. And here I was, a freshman coming in. But I passed that course, but I just. And I'm so different now. I'm a changed person.
What do you think changed you?
That's a good question. I'll be working on that. I think God came into my life in a different way, a real way. It's time for me to straighten up.
What are some things that you and your husband like to do together?
Well, we like to bowl. I wish I could say we love to walk together. I wish we would have. We did stuff around the house together. We did stuff with the kids. My husband's gone now. He died just after we moved here. But boy, would I do it different now. Well, I've talked to many people about this since. I wish we would have smooched more. Just a casual smooch. I would have that to remember by, we did some, but not like I'd like to think we did. So that's a regret.
I think that's a really valuable reflection.
Yes, but it's too late.
For you, yes. But for me to hear it,
it's good. Yeah. It might,
because I think about losing my husband, and it's the unthinkable.
It is. Kiss him more.
I like that advice.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a real big smooch or anything, but just kiss more often and hold hands a little bit more. I wish we would have done that. I remember a couple times that we laid on the couch together, but it wasn't something we did all the time. So do that. Do that all the time, will you?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it more.
Okay, good.
What were some ways that you showed each other you loved each other?
Oh, we always wrote notes back and forth. I wish I had them too. A lot of my stuff is at my son's house. He doesn't live very far from here, but my stuff is there.
We did talk about your first son, Jeff.
Yes.
And then who came next?
My daughter, Susan.
Do you remember how you picked Susan's name?
It was just always Sue. I mean, right from the beginning, I don't even remember thinking about another.
And then who came third?
My daughter, Brenda.
How old are you?
81.
How does it feel to be 81?
Old.
If you could go back and tell your younger self something when you were a teenager, what would you tell yourself?
Straighten up. Bob and I had a good life. We collected depression glass that was made around the time that we were born and that. And we bought a man's collection, and he came with a big vehicle. I don't remember what it was. We took it all down cellar. There were boxes and boxes and boxes. Then Bob lost his job and went to auctioneering school, and we auctioned it off. That was a fun time.
So would he get on the microphone and...
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man, I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was fun. There was a newspaper out that was all about depression glass.
Did you make it in the newspaper?
Oh, yes. Yes. And then we made it that Bob was the auctioneer at these things. These were houses that they sold, not the ones that you see now. Oh, I wish I could show you. Oh, we had a basement full of them. It was wonderful.
So 81 years old. What do you do to fill your time?
I do the books that most of them do around here, filling in the words.
Oh, like a Mad Libs?
I don't know what they call it.
So you have some word games?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you're looking forward to?
I don't know. Just day-to-day living,
Your
I guess.
daughter visiting next week?
Oh, yes.
Something to look forward to.
Yes, uh-huh.
Do you have
Sure
grandkids?
is. Yes.
How does it feel to be a grandmother?
Wonderful.
What's the difference between being a grandmother and a mother?
The responsibility isn't there.
Is there anything you'd like young people to know about getting older?
Well, I guess appreciate it, love it, and keep going.
Would you like to pick out a nail polish color?
Oh, let's see.
It's nice.
I like that one.
Did you go on family vacations with your kids?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We had a station wagon. They would sleep in the back.
So you'd take road trips?
Oh, yes. Lots.
What was one of the favorite places?
Went to Gettysburg. That was wonderful.
What do you think you would have gone to school for if you would have gone to college?
Psychology.
Like counselor, therapist?
Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
would have loved that.
Do you think you were that person for your friends?
I think I could have been a little bit more if I would have been on the ball.
Did you have a best friend growing up?
Yeah, I guess at times.
Would you say Bob was your best friend?
Oh, yes. But I don't. I wish I would have remembered to be closer. I just wish that.
I'm 38 years old.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm 38. Do you have any advice for me?
Yes. Hang in there strong. You're 38.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And you're married.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been married?
10 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Does anything I've said make sense to you?
Yeah, it resonates with me. Being more affectionate, paying attention to the small things.
Right, right.
And that's really what you'll miss, or what I'll miss.
Right. Right. Do you have children?
No, we won't have kids. We do spoil our nieces, though.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. What do you think was the best part of motherhood?
It certainly wasn't in the middle of the night when they got up. That wasn't it.
What's the hardest part of motherhood?
Staying out of their business.
Moms will always mom.
Yeah.
Tell me about your parents.
Oh, you don't want to know about that.
No? Okay.
Well, no, I'll tell you. My mother and father split up when I was real young, and my mother worked, so I was boarded out, and I had everything. But I would go home for the weekend, and the people would leave, and they took all my stuff, of course. I always had everything, even when I was older. But my mother was not a kleptomaniac, because I believed that she knew what she was doing. And then my stepfather made advances towards me. It wasn't good. My childhood was not good.
How did that reflect in the type of mother you were?
I don't know.
Do you think that you made decisions in your parenting based on how you felt when you were a child? It had to have had an effect on the type of mom you were.
Yeah, I suppose it did. I don't know, but it was bad. I don't like to look back on my childhood. I mean, I think I've made it back with it or something. I don't know. That's pretty.
Yeah, it really is. It's very nice. We're coming to the end of the manicure. Is there anything else we should talk about? Anything you want to tell me about? It's been wonderful getting to know you and talking to you.
Yeah, I really told you a lot.
All right. Well, that's very nice.
Yes, it does.
Bev, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with me today.
Oh, yes, I've enjoyed it.
I did too. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for listening to Mannies with Grannies. I hope you enjoyed learning about someone else, and maybe even learned a little about yourself.